in order to let them enter into the room, right? And then, dear students, I want to give you some general information regarding the lesson. That means the foremost thing is, dear children, you have to mute your microphones and videos. And whenever you need to raise a question from me, so please raise your hand. And I think you know all these things more than myself, right? Now, today we are going to discuss about a short story. I think that most of the time in your schools, you will not be able to do this because of this sudden vacations and all, right? Then I hope to start it from the beginning. Okay, now I'm waiting for some students to let in, right? Now I'm Mrs. Vasuki Senaviratna, and I'm from Joseph Pass College, Venapur. Right. Now, as you can see on the screen, we are going to talk about The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. Right. As the very first thing, I want you to focus your attention to the title of the story. Now, you know that, I hope grade 10 students, you all know that when you happen to answer the extraction questions, right? You have to be very much familiar about the title and the name of the poet with all the spellings and the capitalization to get that 1 mark for the question A given under the extractions, right? Now, The Nightingale and the Rose, you see, the article is there before the nightingale, and that the nightingale N and the last word rose R. All these are capital letters, and the 2 words given within the title, those are the only words that are started from simple letters. By Oscar Wilde, we have seen that most of the time the students forget to write this E here, Oscar Wilde, right? Okay, shall we move into the lesson? Because I think if not, the time will be a problem. Right, okay, that is the title again. And this picture. I know that if you have done the short story earlier, it's okay. You know the significance of this picture. This is the nightingale, and you can see the blooming rose flower, red rose flower, right? And you can see that the thorn is pierced, a thorn pierced into her heart. And let's see what's given in the story, right? I think you all have the book with you, right? The Nightingale and the Rose. I think you all hear me properly. I'm not going to read all the stuff given in the short story, dear children. Please remember that because of the time factor. But as you are new to this literature genre, I want to give you some meaning, right? She said, look into your group, look into the book. She said that she would dance with me if I brought her red roses. Now, look at the first word she, right? Look at the first word she. There. Now, the story. That story abruptly starts with a pronoun. So that is somewhat unusual. Right? She කියලා එකපාරටම පටන් ගත්තාම, so that is also a kind of technique that the writers use. So they want to arouse the curiosity of the readers. So now, when at first we tend to read the word she, we see that we tend to, we are really curious and we tend to find who this she is, right? Okay, now she said that she would dance with me if I brought her red roses. එයා මට ඒ ගෑනු ළමයා මට කියනවා එයා මාත් එක්ක නටන්න එන්න if I give her a red rose. So can you identify children? It's kind of a dealing. Of course, yes. It's like when we go to a shop and buy something, we give money and we take the things we want. It's kind of a dealing. Of course, cried the young student, but in all my garden, there is no red rose. So now he's really helpless, hopeless, right? Because he does not have any kind of red rose in all his garden. So that's why he become disappointed here. From her nest in the hemlock tree, the nightingale heard him, and she looked out through the leaves and wondered. Right. No red rose in all my garden. Now, this crying was heard by a little nightingale bird who was there on the hemlock tree. Now, you know that these little nightingale birds, it is known that these kind of birds can sing songs nicely, right? බොහොම ලස්සනට සින්දු කියන කුරුල්ලෙක් විදිහට තමයි පුතේ මෙයාව ප්‍රසිද්ධ වෙලා ඉන්නේ කුරුල්ල ලෝකයේ තුල. So now this bird heard this crying of the young student. Now you know, dear children, here the writer has used the personification to its best, right? When we go further in the short story, you may understand that the nightingale and the trees and also there are several creatures, they all are personified, right? No red rose in all my garden, he cried, and his beautiful eyes filled with tears. On what little things does happiness depend? Right, I have read all that the wise men have written, and all the secrets of philosophy are mine, yet for want of a red rose is my life made wretched. Now you see, this is a young student. You know who a student is, right? He's අපි වගේ පුතේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ වගේ සාමාන්‍ය education එකක් ගන්න student කෙනෙක් නෙවෙයි. He's studying a very, very serious subjects like philosophy and all, right? Now he says that I have read all the wise sayings, all the things the wise men have written. So now it suggests us that this student is a very very intelligent and knowledgeable person. But although he is knowledgeable, now because that he is not able to find the red rose, because of that reason now he is crying all the time, lying in the garden. So what can you say about this little young student? මොනවද පුතේ එකෙන් කියන්නේ? If you happen to face this kind of situation, what are you going to do first? Are you also going to cry all the time during the day? No, it's not practical. Actually, dear students, this young student is not really practical enough, right? His impracticality is shown with these lines. Although he himself claims that, right? He himself claims that although he knows many more things regarding serious subjects, this want of a red rose had made him life wretched. Okay, here at last is a true lover, said the nightingale. So that is what, with the hearing of that cry, that is what the nightingale perceived regarding the student and his love. ගෑනු ළමයි red rose එකක් නැතුව ගෙන් නටන්න බෑ කියනවා. ගෙනාවොත් නටන්නම් කියන condition එකක් පුතේ. It's a really a condition. It's a dealing. If you bring me a red rose, I will dance with you. That's what the lady or the young girl had said to this student. Right now he's crying all the way. But hearing that crying of the students, now the nightingale thinks that he's the true lover. Right. Night after night have I sung of him, though I knew him not. Night after night have I told his story to the stars, and now I see him. His hair is dark as the hyacinth blossom, and his lips are red as the rose of his desire, but passion has made his face like pale ivory. So now, here I'm not going to read all these. Here you can see in this short story, there are a lot of similes, right? Lot of metaphors are there. You see, his hair is dark as the hyacinth blossom. That is a simile. His lips are red as the rose of his desire. Again a simile. His face like pale ivory. Again a simile. And then sorrow has set her seal upon his brow. That is called a metaphor. Right. The prince gives a ball tomorrow night, murmured the young student, and my love will be of the company. So now these are the thought process of the student, right? Murmured the young student, and my love will be of the company. If I bring her a red rose, she will dance with me till dawn, right? If I bring her a red rose, I shall hold her in my arms, and she will lean her head upon my shoulder, and her hand will be clasped in mine. Now, he imagines if he is able to bring her a red rose, she imagines that how he is going to dance with this girl, right? Through his imagination. Through his imagination, he is there at the ballroom party, right? But there is no red rose in my garden. Okay, dear students, now here that imagining about the future, there also you can find a technique there, right? We call it as a flash forward technique, right? Imaginative process about the future, what will happen, right? Okay, next, moving to the next one, next paragraph. Here indeed is the true lover, said the nightingale. What I sing of, he suffers. What is joy to me, to him is pain, right? Surely love is a wonderful thing. It is more precious than emeralds. Me balanda nightingale kohomada me true love gana hitana vidiha, right? And dearer than fine opals. You see, the writer has used here the comparative adjectives. Another technique. Pearls and pomegranates cannot buy it. Nor it is set forth in the marketplace. It may not be purchased of the merchants. Nor can it be weighed out in the balance for gold. Right. That is how the nightingale thinks about this true love. Right. Again, the poet goes to the nightingale, the students' thought process. The musicians will sit in their gallery. Again, that is called flash forward technique, said the young student, and play upon their stringed instruments. And my love will dance to the sound of the harp and the violin. She will dance so lightly that her feet will not touch the floor. You see that sentence again. She will dance so lightly that her feet will not touch the floor. So that is, you can say, here it cannot be done. Really? Ek exaggeration විදියට දගන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ. And the courtiers in their gay dresses will throng round her, but with me she will not dance. So this young student is really, really upset. මනසෙන් හිතා ගන්නවා මේ හැමදේම. එයාගේ ලස්සන යාගෙත් එක නටන හැටි, යා නටන හැටි. How the people around, the royal people around, how they gather around him, around her. But she will not dance with me because I don't have a red rose to give her. Right? Now, and he flung, you look at the last line, and he flung himself down on the grass and buried his face in his hands and wept. You see the impracticality of these students? මේ දරුවගේ තියෙන impracticality කියන දේ, practical නැති බව කියන දේ පේනවද? ඔය පැත්තක වැතිරිලා garden එකට වෙලා අඬනවා. Why is he weeping? Asked the little green lizard. You see, even the green lizard here is also personified, as he ran past him with his tail in the air. Why indeed, said a butterfly. You see, several creatures are also personified in the story. Who was fluttering about after a sunbeam? Why indeed, whispered a daisy to his neighbor. Daisy, a flower, and in a soft, low voice. He's waiting for a red rose, said the nightingale. For a red rose? They cried. How very ridiculous. Even the creatures in the nature also mocks at him, laughs at him. How very ridiculous. රෝස මලක් නැතිවට මනුස්ස දරුවෙක් අඬනවා කිව්වහම, right? And the little lizard, who was something of a cynic, laughed outright. What do you mean by this cynic? Cynic is a person who believes that people's motives are always selfish. අනිත් අයගේ කරන හැමදේම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හැම motive එකක්ම selfish කියන විදිහට හිතන හැමදේම මිනිස්සු හැමදේම කරන්නේ to gain something. හරිම selfish කියලා හිතන කෙනෙක්, කොයි දේත් වැරදක් දකින කෙනෙක්, right? But the nightingale understood the secret of the student's sorrow. Nightingale is the only creature who understood the sorrow of the students and the reason for his crying also. Next paragraph. Suddenly she spread her brown wings for flight and soared into the air. She passed through the grove like a shadow, and like a shadow she sailed across the garden. Several techniques are mentioned here. Like a shadow, and like a shadow she sailed. Here you can see a simile and also a repetition, and it gives rhythm. Right? And then in the center of the glass rod, in the center of the glass pot was standing beautiful red rose tree, and when she grew it, it flew over to it and lit upon a spring. Now he has started a mission. She has started a mission to find a red rose. So that is what the student must have done. එහෙම නේද පුතේ? ඒක තමයි හරිනම් අර පිරිමි දරුවා කරන්න ඕන වැඩේ. තමන්ගේ garden එකේ red roses නැතිනම් නේද? එතකොට මොකද්ද අපි කරන්නේ? We can go in search for a red rose into neighboring gardens, or else we can go for a shop even, right? But here, this natural creature, this nightingale, non-human bird, is the one who is going to start a mission to find a red rose. So now in a way, this nightingale is practical more than the young student. You get the idea. In the center of the grass plot, there are 3 red roses mentioned here in 3 places of the garden. So whenever you are given an extraction in that kind of places, you have to mention exactly, you have to be very, very specific, and you have to mention what color, what kind of colored red rose tree is that and where it is. කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ, මොන විදිහ මොන color එකේ red rose tree එකක් දෙතන තියෙන්නේ කියන එක ඔයගොල්ලන් හිතන්න ඕනේ. Right. In the center of the grass pot, now this is the first place you find a rose tree was standing, a beautiful rose tree And when she saw it, she flew over to it and lit upon a spray. Give me a red rose, she cried. I will sing you my sweetest song. Don't you see, dear students? That is again a kind of dealing. ආයමත් ඒක dealing එකක් නේ. නේද? ඒක එක්තරා ආකාරයක dealing එකක් තමයි මේ යන්නේ. But the tree shook its head. More roses are white. Sorry, my roses are white. මගේ රෝස මල් සුදු පාටයිනේ. It answered, as white as the foam of the sea and whiter than the snow upon the mountain. You see, several similes are given. Several similes are given there. But go to my brother who grows round the old sundial, and perhaps he will give you what you want. Yanda parana sundial. What do you mean by this sundial? Ta sundial එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ අර පරණ තිබුණනේ ඉස්සර කාලේ වෙලාව බලපු විදිය අර හේවණල්ල වැටෙන විදිය අන්න ඒ වගේ එකත් එක තමයි sundial කියලා තිබුණේ. And perhaps he will give you what you want. So now the first is the white rose tree. It was there in the center of the grass plot. Remember those. So he flew over to the next tree who was growing around the old sundial. Again, this bird requests a red rose tree. My roses are yellow. So remember, for the second time, the nightingale goes for a yellow rose tree. It answered, as yellow as the hair of the mermaiden who sits upon an amber throne. You see a simile, mermaiden, and yellower than the daffodil that blooms in the meadow before the mower comes with his sky. Daffodil gana kata karnawa in relation to in relation to the color of yellow. But go to my brother who grows beneath the student's window. The third place, the student's window, and perhaps he will give you what you want. Right. So the nightingale flew over to the rose tree that was growing beneath the student's window. Give me a red rose, she cried. Now that is the process. My roses are red, it answered. First time he went there for a white rose tree, and then she goes for a yellow rose tree, and then she goes for a red rose tree there, as red as the feet of the dove and redder than the great fans of coral that wave and wave in the ocean cavern. So all these are similes, but the winter has chilled my veins. The red rose tree says an important thing here. Seethalata mage nahara velila. Right? And the storm has broken my branches, and I shall have no roses all this year, my goodness. Although the nightingale bird requests a red rose, the tree claims that the tree cannot bear any more red roses because this winter has chilled the veins of the red rose tree. Ara seethalata gal gahila, seethalata akilila kiyala deyak kiyenawa. One red rose is all I want, cried the nightingale. Only one red rose. You see how she begs from the red rose tree. Pute, tamanta avashya deyak hinda neveine. So this little bird, neda, me punchi kurulla, me illanne, me yearn karanne for the happiness of another person. Can we do that kind of things? How many are there to do such kind of sacrifices here? Tamat tavat kenekuge satutak wenuwen tamang loku deyak karana de neda. You see that there is a way, answered the tree. The mecharama request karana hinda. There is a way, but it is so terrible that I dare not tell it to you. Mata eka hita gannawat bari tara mata kiyanna bෑ. It's really dangerous. Even I can't tell you that. Tell it to me, said the nightingale. I'm not afraid. Kiyanna mama baya naha. If you want a red rose, said the tree, you must build it out of music by moonlight. Music by moonlight. Here also there is a technique, you know, m sound is repeated here, alliteration, right? And stain it with your own heart's blood. හඳ එළිය තියෙන වෙලාවේ නයිටින්ගේල් කුරුල්ලගේ ගීත ගායනත් එක්කම තමයි මේක නිර්මාණය කරන්න ඕනේ, right? And stain it with your own heart blood. ඔබගේ හදවතේ රුධිරයෙන් පමණයි ඒ පිපෙන මල රතු පාට වෙන්නේ, right? You must sing to me with your breast against a thorn, right? ඔයාගේ ගීතේ ගායනා කරන්න ඕනේ කොහොමද? ඔයාගේ breast එක මගේ කටුවකට ඇනගෙන, right? පේනවද පුතේ? එතකොට මේ ජීවිතේ all night long you must sing to me and the thorn must pierce your heart. Pierce සිදුරු කරන මේ රෝස ගහේ කටුවකින් ඔයාගේ හදවත සිදුරු වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ ගලන රුධිරය මලට ඇවිල්ලා තමයි මල රතු පාට වෙන්නේ. A very very big challenge. Who is there to take such kind of a challenge in order to make the other one's happiness, one person happy? Now you just think about the modern society. Are there such kind of people? There are, but in a very limited number, right? And your lifeblood must flow into my veins and become mine. ඔයාගේ ජීවන රුධිරය මගේ ගහේ රුධිරයට ඇවිල්ලා ඒවා මගේ බවට පත් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Now, what is the answer? What is the reply of the nightingale? Death is a great price to pay for a red rose, cried the nightingale. මරණය කියන්නේ රෝස මලකට දෙන්න පුළුවන් වටිනම තෑග්ග. කමක් නෑ රෝස මලකට මගේ ජීවිතේ. No problem, cried the nightingale. And life is very dear to all. ජීවිතේ කියන එක හැම දෙනාටම හරිම. Dear means here expensive, වටිනා, valuable කියන එක. It is pleasant to sit in the garden, green wood, and to watch the sun in his chariot of gold and the moon in her chariot of pearl. You see the aesthetic sense of the nightingale, just to admire the natural beauty, right? සබාදහමේ සුන්දරත්වය අරගෙන ඉර පායන හැටි, හඳ පායන හැටි ගැන කියලා තියෙන විදිහ. That is the use of diction. Diction කියන්නේ පුතේ, you know that the selection of words by the writer in order to give his or her meaning, idea. You see the beauty of these lines. It is pleasant to sit in the green wood and to watch the sun in his chariot of gold and the moon in her chariot of pearl. Two colors associated with the moon and the sun, right? Sweet is the scent of the hawthorn, and sweet are the bluebells that hide in the valley and the heather that blows on the hill, right? Yet love is better than life. සබාදහමේ සුන්දරත්වය ගැන කතා කරනවා, right? Sometimes these are the things that he loves, that this little bird loves in his life, in its life. Yet love is better than life. බලන්න කියන කතාව, ආදරය කියන එක ජීවිතයට වඩා හොඳයි. That is what this innocent little nightingale perceives about the love, right? And what is the heart of a bird compared to the heart of a man? It's a question, dear students. Either question එකක් අහන්නේ. Now I think you know that the writers raise such kind of questions without expecting an answer. Such kind of questions are called rhetorical questions, right? So she spread her brown wings for flight and soared into the air. She swept over the garden like a shadow, and like a shadow she sailed through the grove. You see the rhythm and similes and the repetition also given here. The young student was still lying on the grass. You see the contrast between this young student and this nightingale bird. Now the little bird has done a very big mission. she had gone into 3 places of the garden in order to find a red rose. And at last, she had already decided to sacrifice her life in order to bloom a red rose flower. But still, the young student was crying, lying in the garden. Now you see the impracticality of this man. මේ මනුස්සයාගේ තියෙන කිසිම ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් ගතියක් නැහැනේ, impractical. කරන්න තිබුණු වැඩේ මනුස්සයෙක් නොවන කුරුල්ලෙක් කරනවා. මනුස්සයෙක් වෙච්චි knowledgeable student කෙනෙක් වෙච්චි කෙනෙක් ඔහේ පැත්තකට වෙලා බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා. Right? Be happy, cried the nightingale. Now she sings for the students too. Be happy, you shall have your red rose. I will build it out of music by moonlight. She had already decided. There's no second thought for her. දෙපාරක් හිතන්නේ මේ කුරුල්ලට දෙයක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. She's already decided to sacrifice her life for the sake of happiness of the student. Right? You see? I will build it out of music by moonlight and stain it with my own heart's blood. All that I ask of you in return is that you will be a true lover. For love is wiser than philosophy, though she is wise and mightier than power. You see that love is wiser than philosophy and mightier than power. Love kiyanade, mightier than power and wiser than philosophy. Though he is mighty, flame-colored are his wings. Right, that's what the nightingale perceives. Okay, you go to the next para. The student looked up from the grass and listened, but he could not understand what the nightingale was saying to him. Yes, of course. That although this student is knowledgeable regarding serious things, serious subjects, but he cannot understand the nightingale's song in a way that's true. But he's not. That suggests here the writer wants to suggest that this student is really insensitive to the nature and the natural things. For he only knew the things that are written down in books. He has only the bookish knowledge, right? පොත්වල තියෙන දැනුම විතරක් තියෙන දරුවෙක්, practical usage එක, common senses කියන දේවල් නැති දරුවෙක්, and a student who is away from the natural world, right? But the oak tree understood and felt sad. You see the contrast. Although this student does not understand what is the meaning of this nightingale song, the oak tree understands that. ඒක ඇත්තටම වෙන්න බැරි දෙයක් නේද? සබාදහමේ දෙන පණිවිඩ ඇත්තටම මිනිසුන්ට අඳුර ගන්න බෑ. If it is so, we will not come to at this juncture in the world. නේද? එහෙම පුළුවන් වුණා නම් අපි අද මේ ඉන්න situation එකට ඉන්නේ නැහැ. Right? හොඳ පාඩම්, right? For he was very fond of the little nightingale who had built her nest in his branches. Sing me one last song, he whispered. මේ oak tree එකේනේ දැන් nightingale nest එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. So the oak tree says, sing me one last song. අවසාන වතාවට මට එක ගීතයක් ගයන්න. So oak tree understands what is the fate going to be for this little nightingale. මෙන්න යන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන කාරණේ හොඳට පේනවා. මෙන්න මේ oak tree එක කියන කතාවේ. Right. I shall feel very lonely when you are gone. So nightingale sang to the oak tree, and her voice was like water bubbling from a silver jar. See the numerous similes. When she had finished her song, the student got up and pulled a notebook and a lead pencil out of his pocket. Now, she has form, she said to herself. ඒ ගායනාවේ යම්කිසි ලස්සනකුත් තියෙනවා. As he walked away through the grove, that cannot be denied to her. But has she got feeling? That phrase is, dear students, it's really ironical. මේක හරි ironical පුතේ. එතකොට මේ nightingale ගැන කියන්නේ Now he's talking about, the student is mentioning about the nightingale and its song. But has she got feeling? When nightingale කුරුල්ලට feelings කියන emotions කියන ඒවා තියෙනවද? එහෙනම් මේ student ද තියෙන්නේ in a way that's really ironical, because he's the one who is insensitive to the nature. Right? එයා තමයි nature එකට insensitive වෙලා ඉන්නේ. She's like most artists. She's all style without any sincerity. She would not sacrifice herself for others. The big, very big irony. එයා කවදාවත් තමන්ගේ ජීවිතය අනිත් අය වෙනුවෙන් sacrifice කරන එකක්. Right? අපි දන්නවා නේද? We know that this bird has already decided to sacrifice his little life on behalf of the students' love, but he does not understand these things. She thinks merely of music, and everybody knows that the arts are selfish. Still, it must be admitted that she has some beautiful notes in her voice. What a pity it is that they do not mean anything or do any practical good. There's another irony. ඔය කියන වචනවල මිහිරි තමයි අහන් ඉන්න. ඒත් ඒ වගේ practical usage එකක් තියෙනවද? You see what the student is uttering? Right? And he went into his room and lay down on his little pallet bed and began to think of his love. And after a time, he fell asleep. My goodness. How impractical this boy is. If he had a true love, can he sleep soundly? ඔය අවංක ඇත්ත ආදරයක් තිබුණා නම් දැන් මේ දැවෙන burning problem එකක් නේ තියෙන්නේ. මේ දැවෙන ප්‍රශ්නෙත් එක්ක නිින්ද යනවද? නිදා ගන්න පුළුවන්ද පුතේ? No, never. He cannot. But this student, he went asleep. Now this is the time for the nightingale, and when the moon shone in the heavens, the nightingale flew to the rose tree and set her breast against the thorn. That is what is asked by the rose tree. All nights long, she sang with her breast against the thorn. මුළු රෑ තිස්සෙම අර කටුවට, you can see in the picture, අර කටුවට තමන්ගේ හදවත ඇනගෙන සිදුරු වෙන්න තියාගෙන තමයි සින්දු ගිව්වේ ගායනා කළේ. Right? And the cold crystal moon leaned down and listened. අර හදත් ඔහේ බලාගෙන අහගෙන හිටියා. A music by moonlight ne? That is the condition. All night long she sang, and the thorn went deep and deep into her breast. මුළු රෑ පුරාම ගායනා කරද්දි ටික 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 අර කටුව thorn එක සිදුරු වෙනවා, piercing වෙනවා යාගේ heart එක, and her life blood ebbed away from her. Right? අර යාගේ nightingale රුධිරය ගහට කාන්දු වෙනවා. Right, okay, welcome back. Now let's start. Now you see the incident and the crucial moment of Nightingale's life, and it's really a risky moment. Now the next para, page 24, she sang first of the birth of love and in the heart of a boy and girl. And on the topmost spray of the rose tree, there blossomed a marvelous rose. පුදුමාකාර ලස්සන රෝසමලක් පිපුණා. Petal following petal, as song followed song. ගීයෙන් ගීය නිම වෙනවා වගේ අර tone එක gradually pierce වෙනවා heart එක. ඒ වගේ පුතේ අර රෝසමලේ පෙති එක එක දිගෑරෙනවා. Pale was it at first, but it's not yet colored. As the mist had hangs over the river, now here also you have a set of similes and exaggeration and all. Let's move on to the next para. But the tree cried to the nightingale to press closer against the throne. Right? ගහ කෑ ගහනවා. breast එක එයාගේ breast එක ටික ටික ලං කරන්න කියලා කටුවට. Press close a little, nightingale, cried the tree, or the day will come before the rose is finished. They have to consider about the time factor even, right? කාලය ගැනත් හිතන්න එපා, music by moonlight නේ නේද? We know that that condition. So the nightingale pressed closer against the thorn. Nightingale මොකද කරන්නේ? thorn එකට ලං කරනවා යාගේ පපුව, and louder grew her song, right? For she sang of the birth of passion in the soul of a man and a maid, and a delicate flush of pink came into the leaves of the rose, like the flush in the face of a bridegroom when he kisses the lips of the bride. You see the comparisons he uses, right? But the thorn had not yet reached her heart. තාම රෝස මල රතු පාට නැහැනේ. මොකද තාම යාගේ heart එක සිදුරු වෙලා නැහැ. So the rose's heart remained white, for only a nightingale's heart's blood can crimson the heart of a rose. Nightingale කෙනෙකුගේ heart blood වලින් විතරයි රෝස මලක් රතු පාට වෙන්නේ. And the tree cried to the nightingale to press closer against the thorn. The tree is screaming out, right? Press closer, little nightingale, cried the tree, or the day will come before the rose is finished. So the nightingale pressed closer against the thorn, and the thorn touched her heart. That pain, and a fierce pang of pain shot through her, right? Bitter was the pain, and wilder grew her song. වේදනාව පුතේ දැඩි වෙන්න යාගේ song එකේ voice එකත් බොහොම exciting tone එකක් එක්ක යන්නේ. It's not nice, but she sings, right? For she sang of the love that is perfected by death, මරණයෙන් perfect වෙන ආදරයක් ගැන කියනවා. Of the love that dies not in the tomb, right? මරණයේදී පවා වෙන්න වෙන ආදරයක් ගැන සින්දු කියනවා nightingale කුරුල්ලා. Right, and the marvelous rose became crimson, like the rose of the eastern sky. Crimson was the girdle of petals, and crimson as a ruby was the heart. But the nightingale's voice grew fainter, and her little wings began to beat, and a film came over her eyes. Faint and fainter grew her song, and she felt something choking in her throat. Then she gave one last burst of music, right? That is the last burst of music. And her little wings began to beat, and a film came over her eyes. Faint and fainter grew her song, and she felt something choking in her throat. දැන් ඉතින් අවසාන මොහොතේ උගුරක් තිර වෙනවා වගේ දැනෙනවා, right? ඇස් දෙකත් බොඳ වෙලා ගිහින් කුරුල්ලාගේ. Then she gave one last burst of music. Sorry. The white moon heard it, and she forgot the dawn. හඳට අහසෙන් බැහැලා යන්න අමතක වුණා, and lingered on in the sky. අහසේම රැඳිලා හිටියා. The red rose heard it, and it trembled all over with ecstasy. Now the rose is finished and opened its petals to the cold morning air. Echo buoyed to her purple cavern in the hills and woke the sleeping shepherds from their dreams. It floated through the reeds of the river, and they carried its message to the sea. Now a new marvelous red rose has bloomed. Look, look, cried the tree. The rose is finished now. The tree is very, very happy. බලන්න මල රතු රෝස මලක් පිපිලා. But the nightingale made no answer. Nightingale to answer එකක් දෙන්න විදිහක් නැහැනේ. නේද? She had already died, for she was lying dead in the long grass with a thorn in her heart. අර පපුවේ ඇනිච්ච කටුවත් එක්කම nightingale කුරුල්ලා ගහපාමුල මැරිලා වැටිලා. She had sacrificed her life in order to make a red rose, in order to make the student happy, right? That is the end of the life of the nightingale. And at noon, අර හොඳට නිදාගත්තු මනුස්සයා, අපේ young student, right? And at noon, the student opened his window and looked out. හොඳට නිදාගෙන දවල් වෙනකල් window එක ඇරලා බලනවා. Why, what a wonderful piece of luck. මගේ දෙයියනේ මේක පුදුම වාසනාවක් නේ. He cried, here is a red rose. He was delighted, right? I have never seen any rose like it in all my life. මෙහෙම ලස්සන රෝස මලක් මගේ ජීවිත කාලෙම මම දැකලා නැහැ. It is so beautiful that I am sure it has a long Latin vein. My goodness, you see this students' perceptions and attitudes. බලන්න දරුවනේ මේ young student ගේ attitudes මොනවද? අපි එහෙමනම් කොච්චර සතුටු වෙයිද? තමන් ගාව නැතිම දෙයක් නැහැයි කියලා worry වෙලා අන්තිමට ඒ දේ ලැබුණාම we may be in the seventh heaven. Isn't that so? But here, මොනවද මේ ළමයාට මතකුනේ ලස්සනයි සුන්දරයි that's enough. මේ මලට කොච්චර දිග ලැටින් scientific name එකක් තියනවද දන්නේ නැහැ නේද? You see, he's only with the bookish knowledge. He has only the book knowledge. He's not sensitive to the nature and the natural world. He's in the lack of aesthetic sense and beauty. Right? අර පුතේ සෞන්දර්යාත්මක රසය, that is what we gain by doing this kind of subject. ඒක ඇත්තටම මේ ස්ටුඩන්ට් ගාව නැහැ. හැම දෙයක්ම එයා measure කරන්නේ in terms of knowledge and all, from what he had learned only. එතකොට පුතේ දරුවනේ හිතලා බලන්න. Do we learn everything from these kind of books given in the school? No, for sure. අපි ගොඩක් දේවල් පරිසරයෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. Especially the things like common sense. Isn't that so? Right. And he leaned down and plucked it. කිසිම දෙයක් නැතුව window එකෙන් පහළට නැමිලා he plucked the flower. Right? Then he put on his hat and ran up to the professor's house with the rose in his hand. මලත් අරගෙන දඩිබිඩි ගාලා ලෑස්ති වෙලා he went into the professor's house. Because why? To give that red rose to the professor's daughter. The daughter of the professor was sitting in the doorway, winding blue silk on a reel, right? And her little dog was lying at her feet. That is the picture, right? You know that silk is a luxury fabric, right? That denotes the comfortable life that this lady or the girl spends, right? අර ගෑනු ළමයා දොර ළඟ ඉඳගෙන blue silk එකක් reel එක ඔතනවා. එතකොට යාගේ dog ඉන්නවා යාගේ පුටුව ළඟ, right? And you said that you would dance with me if I brought you a red rose. Now the young student reminds the lady that you have done that kind of dealing and you have probed such kind of condition on me, right? You said that you would dance with me if I brought you a red rose. මලක් රතු රෝස මලක් ගෙනාවොත් ඔයා මාත් එක්ක නටනවා කිව්වනේ. Cried the students. He was almost crying like, here is the reddest rose in all the world. ඒ තියෙන මුළු ලෝකෙම තියෙන සුන්දරම රතුම මල red rose එක. You will wear it tonight near your heart and we dance together. And as we dance together, it will tell you how I love you. ඔයා මේක පළඳගෙන එන්න. අපි එකතු වෙලා නටනකොට කියයි ඒක මං කොච්චරවට ආදරේද. But the girl frowned. My goodness. Is it the reaction that the young student expected? Is it the reaction the nightingale expected from that lady lover? Although the bird had not seen the professor's daughter? Is this the reaction? But the girl frowned. Rawa. I'm afraid it will not go with my dress, she answered. Apo, උක මගේ dress code එකට ගැලපෙන්නේ. ඒකේ කලර් එකට ඔක හරියන්නේ. මගේ ගවුමට ඔක ගැලපෙන්නේ. It's not matching to my dress. කොච්චර insult එකක්ද. How mean is she? She answered, and besides, the Chamberlain's nephew has sent me some real jewels. Chamberlains is an officer who managed the household of a noble people, right? It's some kind of prestigious possession in that era. Chamberlain's nephew, එයා මට එවලා තියෙනවනේ මොනවද? Some real jewels. And everybody knows that jewels cost far more than flowers. හැමෝම ඉතින් දන්නවනේ ඔය ජුවලරි කියන ඒවා මාල් වලට වැඩිය වටින බව. මූණට දමලා ගැහුවා වගේ. Right? So how disappointed is the student, right? Well, upon my word, you are very ungrateful. Wow, ungrateful connect, said the student angrily, and he threw the rose into the street. අනේ අර life එකක් sacrifice කරලා නිර්මාණය කරපු රෝස මල. Right? He threw it into the street, where it fell into the gutter, and a cartwheel went over it. Blasted. අච්චර sacrifice එකක් කරලා නිර්මාණය කරපු රෝස මල useful වුණාද අන්තිමට? හරි? අන්තිමට වැඩක් වුණාද? Ungrateful, said the girl. Ungrateful? I tell you what, you are very rude. And after all, who are you? කවුද තමුන් කියලා අහන්නේ? හරි? Only a student. Now she's insulting. They both got angry, right? Why? I don't believe you have even got silver buckles to your shoes as the Chamberlain's nephew has. So she's comparing the wealthiness and the richness of these two, Chamberlain's nephew and this young students. Who are you? කවුද කියලා අහන්නේ? තමුන් තාම student කෙනෙක්. අඩුම ගානේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ බලන්න. The girl puts the student's position into a drop down level, right? What අඩුම ගානේ තමුන්ට තියෙනවද චේම්බර්ලන්ගේ nephew සපත්තු වලට දාන silver buckle එකක් ගන්න තරම්වත් වත්කමක්. That was the insult she made, right? And she got up from her chair and went into the house. නැගිට්ටා පුටුවෙන් ගේ ඇතුළට ගියා. What a silly thing love is. මොන තරම් මෝඩ දෙයක්ද මේ love කියන එක, said the student as he walked away. Right? It is not half as useful as logic. Or logic, you know that subject තර්ක ශාස්ත්‍රය කියන තර්කයට ගාවා ඒකෙන් භාගයක්වත් වටින්නේ නැහැ. Right? For it does not prove anything. කිසිම දෙයක් prove කරන්නේ නැහැ love කියන එකෙන්. And it is always telling one of things that are not going to happen. Love කියලා කියන්නේ කවදාවත් සිද්ධ නොවන දෙයකට. And making one believe things that are not true. කවදාවත් සත්‍ය නැති දේවල් විශ්වාස කරන්න මිනිස්සෙකුට කියන දෙයක්ද? In fact, it is quite unpractical. You see the contrast. ඇත්තම කිව්වොත් මේක හරි unpractical නේ love කියන දේ. And as in this age to be practical is everything. Can you tell me that whether the student is practical? Right? මේ කාලෙට මේ ඉගෙන ගන්න කාලෙට practical දේවල් ගැන හිතන එක තමයි හොඳම දේ. I shall go back to philosophy and study metaphysics. Metaphysics is a very heavy subject. A philosophy concerning the nature of existence, truth and knowledge, such kind of things. So he returned to his room and pulled out a great dusty book and began to read. Now everything is over. He has forgotten everything, right? Now he goes back to his usual studies. පරණ පුරුදු පාඩම් කිරෙල්ලට ගියා. හරිද? ඇයි? Because that is how the student perceives what love is. Love කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක student ගත්තු attitude එක ඒක තමයි. මේ අච්චර for a whole day I think he had gone on weeping and weeping, and because of this A little bird lost its life already. ජීවිතේම නැති කරගත්තා. But is that the thing? Is that the price the nightingale receives, right, for her sacrifice? He goes back in to the dusty book. The dusty book කියන එක පුතේ. It symbolizes the hollowness of the intellectuals. හරිද? Intellectualism කියන දේ, මේ බුද්ධිමත් කියන දේ, ඒක හරි practical නෑ කියන දේ, ගැඹුරු නැහැ කියන දේ කතා කරනවා මෙතන dusty book කියන එකෙන්. Right. That is the story. As you are in grade 10, I think I thought that I need to read and do some clarifications regarding the short story. Shall we go for the analysis? Right, okay. Now, summary of the story. If I give you the summary, this is one. Okay, in The Nightingale and the Rose, a short story written by Oscar Wilde, there are three important characters. I think, I hope, now you know them. The young student, the nightingale, and the professor's daughter. Although the nightingale is not a human being, but she has human's characters. That's why the writer has personified. The romantic nightingale adores love and is willing to sacrifice her life as an exchange for a fresh red rose in the winter. Her action symbolizes sacrificial love. The romantic young student has romantic erotic imagination with the professor's daughter, but he lacks actions to realize his imagination. His condition symbolizes erotic love. The professor's daughter's realistic choice of jewelry instead of a red rose symbolizes materialistic love. Right? This is the summary. Now, let's look into the setting and the characters here. Now, we already know the characters. What do you mean by the setting? Darone setting of a story, the background, right? The story set in a garden of fantasy. You see that most of the creatures in the garden can talk. So that's why I put here the garden of fantasy. It is full of talking trees and creatures. You see a green lizard and a butterfly and a daisy flower and also the nightingale, hallmark tree. So all these inanimate creatures and trees and flowers are personified and they could talk, right? Now these are the characters: the nightingale, the young student, the professor's daughter, the oak tree, green lizard, butterfly, and daisy flowers, right? Okay. These are the things discussed in the short story: love and sacrifice. So you know that up to now, you know that what kind of love is given. Here the nightingale perceives the romantic love, but the professor's daughter perceives the materialistic love and all. And here the nightingale sacrifices, right, her whole life for the sake of true love. But even the young student and even the professor's daughter do not have that kind of true love, right? Materialistic love versus romantic love. If you want to write down, you can. What do you mean by this materialistic love? The love based on materials, right? Only gainings, only wealth is expected. And even you see that she has done a kind of dealing or conditional love. dance කරන් දෙන්නම් කියප එක dealing එක. Right? ඒක ගනුදෙනුවක් වගේ දෙයක්. And materials are expected always in this materialistic love. But it goes against the romantic love, which the Nightingale perceived, right? Reason versus passion. Passion is the love and reason. So although the student learns logic and all, he lacks that logicality even, right? ඒ ලොජික් කියන එකක් තිබුණේ නැහැනේ නේද? මේ මලක් කොහොමද ආවේ? කොහොමද මේක? තරම මල දකිනකොට he could have thought, how could this happen? Because he knew that there was no any red rose the earlier day, right? So then එක පාරටම මේක කොහොමද සිද්ධ වුනේ කියන ලොජික් එක තිබුණේ නැහැ. මේකට කොච්චර දිග ලැටින් නේම් එකක් තියෙද කියලා විතරනේ හිතුවේ. නේද? Right. එතකොට it shows us that when it comes to the passion and love, all these reasons and logics are fading away, right? Appearance versus reality. Yes, of course. Although the girl appears to be a very perfect lover, we see that it's not so. Our winter season එකේ මලක් කිල්ලනකොටත් red rose, because she knew that there couldn't be any rose flowers in that season. මේ කාලේදී මේ winter season එකේදී කොහෙද මල් පිපෙන්නේ? ඒක යා නොදැනද පුතේ? නැහැ. Maybe she wanted to deceive or mistaken the student, right? And reality is not the way. Reality යථාර්ථය කියන එක නෙවෙයි, ඇත්ත යථාර්ථය නෙවෙයිනේ ඔය. And then the system of education. Actually the writer discusses about the system of education here, and he criticizes that. He talks about the lack of aesthetic sense and the sensitivity, and also here that he talks about the impracticality of this education system and all. And the last one, human hypocrisy and deceit. To the duality of people. දැන් අර මලක් කච්චර ලැබිච්ච එකෙන් වටිනාකමක් තිබුණාද? එකපාරටම අඩු ගානේ මම තියාගන්නම් කියලා ඒක ගෙදර ගෙනිච්චෙත් නැහැනේ. නේද? He threw it into the gutter. So people are really hypocritical. It's not the way they appeared to be. Right? එයාලා පෙන්වම් කරන දේ නෙවෙයි ඇත්ත කතාව. So those are the themes. As I don't have much time to talk about these, let's go for the literary devices. I told you that there are a number of literary devices used in the story. Okay. Number one, personification. You know that it's really easy. I have mentioned two quotations here. Ask the green lizard. Here at last is a true lover, said the nightingale. You can find out many more, much more devices, much more personified instances within the story, right? Number two, symbolism. If you want, you can write down. I think it's no need to write down all the quotations, because now you are able to do these things. You can find out from your own, right? Symbolism. Nightingale symbolizes the truthfulness, dedication, devoted, true lover. That should be true, I'm sorry. Truthfulness. The bird is really true to heart in nature. Dedication, we saw that. Now she was the one who went to the rose trees and begged or requested red rose, right? She had gone for 3 places and talked to 3 rose trees, and started that mission, right? And a devoted true lover, that word must be true, right? true love කෙනෙක් ඉතින් නේද? ඒකනේ ආදරයට එයාගේ ජීවිතේ පරිත්‍යාග කළේ. Right. Next symbol is the green lizard. Green lizard. A cynical person. ඒ කියන්නේ එයා එතනම අපි කියලා දැක්කා නේද පුතේ? cynic කියලා දාලා තිබුණා. හැමදේම විවේචනය කරන කෙනෙක්. Oak tree symbolizes the wisdom because the oak tree understood what is going to happen for this little bird. And far-sightedness. He knows, the tree knows that the life of the nightingale is going to end, right? And the tree understands it's not the true love of the student, right? And red rose, true love for nightingale. Red rose එක පුතේ symbolize කරන විදිය කීපයක් තියෙනවා. Nightingale ට නම් ඒක true love. For true love for nightingale, passionate love for the student, right? Conditional love for the girl. So the red rose is symbolized in 3 ways during the story, right? තුන් ආකාරයකට පුතේ red rose එක. I think you got the idea. That is, and again I missed one symbol here, that blue silk. We saw that towards the last, blue silk on a reel. Here that color symbolizes the Virgin Mary, you know that, draped in blue silk, but here it is used ironically. Mary's blue robes typically signify her heavenly nature, you know that, right? But the girl here is entirely worldly. Me ගෑනු ළමයා අර Virgin Mary ගේ blue color එක වගේ blue silk එකක් උනාට ඒක ironically දාලා තියෙනවා. එයා Virgin Mary ගේ blue color එක signify කරේ heavenly nature. නේද? ඒක දිව්‍යමය ස්වභාවයක් එයාට තිබුණේ. But here තනිකරම සල්ලිම හොයන. එහෙම නැත්නම් wealth එකම expect කරන. නේද? real jewelryම expect කරපු lady කෙනෙක් මෙතන හිටිය. So that color symbolism is used in quite ironical way here. Okay. And then let's go to the next slide. Number 3, simile. There are a number of similes mentioned in the story. You see, I have mentioned here only 2. She passed through the girl. Here it should be like a shadow. Sorry, I'm sorry. As white as the foam of the sea. Right? And then exaggeration. You know what exaggeration is? අපි පුතේ සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් අතිශයෝක්තිය. අර අපි කියන්නේ කෙන්ද කන්ද කරලා කීම. Exaggeration, right? තියෙන දෙයක් අතිවිශාලව වර්ණනා කිරීම. She will dance so lightly that her feet will not touch the floor. Can you remember I mentioned at this point also? කොච්චර lightly නටනවද කිව්වොත් එයාගේ කකුල් දෙක බිම වදින හේතුත් නැහැ. It cannot be happened, right? එහෙම වෙන්න බෑනේ. But that is why it is called an exaggeration, right? Irony. There are several ironical things. But has she got feeling? මේ කතා කරන්නේ student. එහෙම කතා about nightingale. But has she got feeling? යාට feelings තියෙනවද ඔය කුරුල්ලෙකුට? එතකොට අපිට තියෙන question එකක්. So whether the student has got feelings කියලා. Or do any practical good? Is he practical himself? So in a way that is ironically used. Right. Number 6. Comparison. And yellower than the daffodil that blooms in the meadow before the mower comes with his kite. I have mentioned only one here, Pute. You can find out more, right? ගොඩක් ඒවා ඔයාට හොයන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. මෙතන then yellower than the daffodil that blooms in the meadow before the mower comes with his kite. Yes, Pute.
Teacher, එතකොට contrast කියන්නේත් ඔකටමද teacher?
There is a bit difference, Eubin, because In contrast, totally two different things are brought together, right? Here he compares. There you can see many more things are compared to the love and the nightingale and the appearance of the student and all, right? Hyacinth blossom ගැන කිව්වා. එතකොට red lips ගැන කතා කරා, right? Okay, I think you got the idea.
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Then let's move to the next one. Alliteration. I think you are well aware of these devices, Darwane. Alliteration කියලා කියන්නේ what? It is the repetition of consonant sounds. Here you see music by moonlight. Consonant sounds, repetition කිව්වම පුතේ ඒක බොහොම ළඟ in close proximity. That is how the definition of alliteration goes on, right? Repetition of consonant sounds in close proximity. ළඟම තියෙන්න ඕන. ආසන්නයේ තියෙන words වල එකම sound එක consonant sounds repeat වෙනවා නම් that is called alliteration. Music by moonlight, you see here ma sound is repeated. Next one, why? What a wonderful piece of luck. Here ver sound is repeated to give us the alliteration, right? And here the flashback. What do you mean by flashback? Can somebody give me the answer? Flashback.
Remember the early incident?
Yes, Lochana. It's not clear, Puta. Right. Flashback in the sense it is going to back to the past, right? අපි වර්තමානයේ ඉන්න story එකේ ඉන්න තැන ඉඳලා අතීතය ගැන මෙනෙහි කරනවා නම්. Now here the story begins with a flashback, right? She said that she would dance with me if I brought her a red rose. Okay, thank you, Lochana. Remember the early events, of course, yes. Metana, then at the very beginning of the short story, the professor's daughter is not available. At that moment, we see that only the student was lying in the garden and he was crying all the way, right? Now, this must be definitely mentioned in the past, right? She said that she would dance with me. Even the tense, you see. Number 9, flash forward. පුතේ දැන් මේ මම මෙතන මෙන්ෂන් කරෙත් තියෙන ඔක්කොම devices නෙමෙයි ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා මීට වැඩිය, right? Flash forward, then if it is going back, if the flashback technique means going back to the past, what do you mean by flash forward technique, right?
Predicting the future, being in the future.
Yes, Puda, very good. Thank you very much. It is predicting the future, going into the future, imagining about the future. Now, while crying at the garden, this young student imagines, I shall hold her in my arms. The way he dances with the lady, right? I shall hold her in my arms and she will lean her head upon my shoulder. එයා මනසෙන් මේ දේ හිතන්නේ නේද? ඒක ඇත්තටම සිදුවෙන දෙයක් නොවෙන්න පුළුවන්. මනසෙන් හිතනවා මම එයාව අතින් අල්ලගෙන මේ විදිහට dance කරනවා. So that is the technique called flash forward. And then number 10, that is rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions කියලා කියන්නේ, yes, of course, Lochana, the questions we don't have answers, don't have answers in the sense, Puta. Rhetorical questions are the questions that raised by the writers without expecting an answer, right? අපිට ඒකට උත්තර නැහැ කියලාම කියන්න
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah.
Don't
Tell me.
I think he's trying to say that not without an answer, but like without to have an answer, like
Okay.
that something.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, thanks, Puta. Of course, yes, because normally when writers raise a question, who is there to answer, right? He raised, those writers raised such kind of questions in order to arouse the awareness of the audience or the spectators and all, right? Let's move on to the next one, assonance. Now here in number 7, we just talked about the alliteration. And here now we have the assonance, right? No red rose in all my garden. You see, in alliteration, that is the technique of repetition of the consonant sounds. Here, assonance means the repetition of vowel sounds. No red rose in all my garden. Here, O sound is repeated. I think you all know about this. Number 12, repetition, an easy device. Press closer, little nightingale. Press closer, කියලා. Look, cried the tree. Those are the repetitive words. Number 13, inversion. What do you mean by this inversion? Can somebody give me the answer?
Changing the order
Change
of
of
a
the word
sentence.
order.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Change of the word order in a sentence.
Right, very good. Changing the word order of a sentence. So changing the normal word order in order to highlight the meaning, in order to give his idea, yes, changing the word order of a sentence, very good. Here at last is a true lover. Night after night have I sung of him. මෙතන අපි කොහොමද හරිනම් එන්නේ? Here is a true lover at last. And here, night after night have I sung of him. I have sung of him night after night. That should be the normal word order. But the writers have the license to change all these grammatical things in order to explain or highlight. Right, okay, welcome back, children. We were talking about inversion, I think. And then number 14, use of adjectives, right? You know, I'm not going to clarify them further. Number 15, visual imagery. As read as the feet of dove. There are a number of visual images. As yellow as the hair of the mermaid who sits upon the amber throne, right? Yeah, of course, we can take that use of adjectives as a technique. Yes, of course, we can, right? If it is full of using adjectives, even in the terrorist is watching, we take that use of adjectives into grant. Right, okay. And then next one, onomatopoeia. I think you know, you are well aware about this. Onomatopoeia in the sense of when we pronounce a word, if we get the meanings in some kind of words, right? Fluttering, we see that thatu gahanawa wage apita danenawa. අපි ඒක ප්‍රනවුන්ස් කරනකොට මේකේ මීනින් එක එනවා නම් දරුවනේ අන්න ඒ ටෙක්නික් එක තමයි onomatopoeia. And bubbling, bubbles එනවා, right? Trembles, පෙවුලනවා, ගැහෙනවා. Pierced, සිදුරු කරගෙන යනවා, right? ඒ feeling එක එනවා නම් ඒ meaning එක අපිට එනවා නම් when we just pronounce the words, that kind of words are called onomatopoeic words, right? Soliloquy. පුතේ soliloquy කියලා කියන්නේ තනියම කියන දේවල්. Character එකක්, if one character is telling something to himself or herself alone, කාටවත් address නොකර තව කාටවත් නොකිය තනියම කියන දේවල්. මෙතන වැඩිපුරම තියෙන්නේ ඒකයි. She said she would dance with me. ඒක කාටවත් කියන දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. Nobody is addressed here, right? But he is telling, he is revealing his inner mind. No red rose in all my garden. Number 18, auditory images. So the nightingale. So the nightingale sang to the oak tree. Auditory images ගායනාව අපිට පෙනෙන්න ඕනේ. That is also for monologue is also a form of soliloquy, right? Okay. අපිට sound image එකක් කියන එකනේ පුතේ auditory image එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ, right? Echo boy it to her purple cavern. මේ දෝංකාරය ඇහුණා කියන දේ sound එකක් අපිට දැනෙන්නේ, right? Tactile imagery, that is touch. I shall hold her in my arms. යාව මම මෙහෙම අල් දෙකෙන් අල්ල ගන්නවා. මේ touch කියන sense එක දැනෙනවා. 20 olfactory images, that is the image of fragrance, or a smell, good or bad. Sweet is the scent of the hawthorn, and sweet are the bluebells that hide in the valley, right? Those images suggest about a kind of smell given, right? So these are some. There are some more techniques left behind because of the time factor, right? I think you are now aware about these things about the devices. Okay, children, shall we? Now we have more than half an hour. So I think this is the best part. Shall we move on to these extractions first? Right, okay. This is from 2016. Darwane, when we go on paper marking, we see that mostly the students score less marks for these kind of extraction questions. And although you see that, it seems to be that these are really easy and we can easily score the 5 marks, but actually it's not so, right? Although you write and score marks out of 15 for the second part questions, here most of the time majority of the students get less marks at the exam, right? But remember, among them, there are very, very good students who had studied well, who score 30 out of 30, 30 out of 29. පුතේ එහෙම ගන්න දරුවොත් ඉන්නවා. So අපි හරියටම මේ answers ලියන විදිහ දැනගන්නත් ඕනේ. Right? Now, as at the very beginning of this presentation, I mentioned you that whenever you write the answers for this part, extraction question A, you have to be very much thorough with the spellings and the capitalization of the title of the creation and the writer, right? The Chamberlain's nephew has sent me some jewels, and everybody knows that jewels cost far more than flowers. Really, I have missed far here. From which text is this extraction taken? This is the answer. The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. Right. Who speaks these words? කවුද මේ කතාව කියන්නේ? පුතේ මතක තියාගන්න අපේ දරුවෝ කරන ලොකු වැරදක් තමයි දැන් මේ extraction එකක් අහනකොට අපි හිතනවා මොන story එක ගැනම. Please don't do that. Whenever you answer an extraction question, please stick into the given extraction only, right? හැබැයි පුතේ given extraction එක specify වෙන්න ඕනේ. හොඳද? may extraction එක මත මිසක් you can't rely on, you can't refer to the whole story or a whole poem or whatever, right? Who speaks these words? These words are spoken by the professor's daughter. The Chamberlain's nephew has sent me some jewels, and everybody knows that jewels cost far more than flowers. Of course, yes. And the other one, to whom are they spoken? කාටද මේවා කියන්නේ? පුතේ දැන් 2016 and all, only A, B, C questions are there, right? Questions තුනයි තිබුණේ. නමුත් මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ පහසුවට as you happen to answer 4 questions, mangi double tibicha questions එක මෙහෙම හැදුවා, right? Okay, no worries about that. To whom are they spoken? To the young student. And D, what is the attitude to love as reflected in these lines, right? What is the attitude of love? May lines waliන් reflect වෙන විදිහට. What is the attitude of love? And I just want to tell you another thing, dear students, regarding this answering. Whenever you come to this D part, please remember that the examination, the department expects you to write 1 or 2 lines at least. සමහර questions තියෙනවා පුතේ මෙතන මේ ටෙක්නික් එක වගේ අහන තැන් ඒ වගේ දෙයක් කරුණාම අනිත් තැන් වලදී පුතේ lines දෙකකින් එක කියන්නේ එක වචනකින් දෙකකින් ලියන්න එපා. Unless you asked about the devices, right? Okay. The materialistic love, which is based on material wealth and money, is reflected here, right? What is the attitude to love as reflected in these lines? That is the materialistic love, which is based on material wealth and money, is reflected here, right? Now I think you are okay with that question, 2016. Let's move on to the next one. Yes. Mm-hmm. 2018, yet love is better than life. And what is the heart of a bird compared to the heart of a man? Usual first question. The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. Who is the speaker? Can anybody give me the answer? Yet love is better than life. And what is the heart of a bird?
The Little Nightingale.
Of course. Yes. There is a question raised by some of the students. Teacher, should we write full answers for the context questions? Full answers in the sense, the other one. Question these lines are taken from The Nightingale and the Rose. The story is written by Oscar Wilde. Please don't do that. You are never expected in such a lengthy way, right? You just write about only the name, title of the creation, and then you put a dash and write down the writer. That's enough. I mean here, Putta, for the D question only. Anit A, B, BC Tunatama. BC Tunatama. Putte. ඔයගොල්ලන් කෙටි answer short answers ලිව්වට කමක් නැහැ, right? කමක් නැහැ. නමුත් D question එකට නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් lines දෙකක්වත් ලියන්න ඕනේ, right? Let's move on to the next one. Who is the speaker? The Nightingale. Thank you, Putta. To whom are these words spoken? කාටද කියන්නේ? To herself, right? What future action of the speaker? What future action of the speaker is indicated by these words? Mona future action ekada may lines waliන් indicate karanna කියලා අහනවා. That love is better than life. And what is the heart of a bird compared to the heart of a man? Right. This is the answer. The Nightingale's willingness to sacrifice her life for the sake of students' love is indicated. What is it? The Nightingale's willingness to sacrifice her life for the sake of students' love is indicated. Can you write down? The Nightingale's willingness to sacrifice, that is the future action indicated by these words, right? Okay. Shall we, in 2020, right? Still, it must be admitted that she has some beautiful notes in her voice. Okay, Puta, you can do it. Right? Still, it must be admitted that she has some beautiful notes in her voice. What a pity it is that they do not mean anything or do any practical good. Right? From which work are these lines taken? Ek api dannawana ithin, as usual. The Nightingale and the Rose by Oscar Wilde. Who is the speaker? Still, it must be admitted that she has some beautiful notes in her voice. What a pity. Kawuda puthe meka kiyanne? The young student. About whom is he saying these words? Ka ganada me wachana kiyanne?
Professor Scott.
Yes, Puta. About the Nightingale. Yes, good. How do you feel about this speaker? Why? Remember, there are two questions. How do you feel about? This is what is given. He is only with book knowledge. He is impractical. Why? He is impractical and not sensitive to the nature. Yeah, මෙහෙම දෙයක් කියන එකෙන් අපිට මොනවද දැනෙන්නේ? මේ utterance එකෙන් මේ words වලින් පුතේ අපිට මොනවද දැනෙන්නේ මේ චරිතය ගැන? Speaker ගැන. We get the idea that he is only with book knowledge. හරි book knowledge එකක් තියෙන කෙනෙක් කියලායි අපිට දැනෙන්නේ. ඇයි එහෙම වෙන්නේ කියලා අහනවා, because he is impractical and not sensitive to the nature. Of course, he is selfish. You can mention that also, right? Good. Now, you know that this new syllabus has started from 2016, and so far you have given only 3 questions, 16, 18, and 20, right? අපි දන්නවා පුතේ extractions අය හැදෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. 2 extractions are taken from the poetry, 2 from prose, and 2 from drama, right? එතකොට අපි දන්නවා we have 4 prose passages, 2 prose passages and 2 short stories. මේ ටික jumble වෙලා තමයි සැරින් සැරේ එන්නේ. So now those are the 3 questions mentioned given in the past papers in your exam. And this is the next part. Past paper questions. Critical analysis questions. Right. This is the recent question given in the paper. 2020. Emotions related to love are often misinterpreted. Discuss with reference to the Nightingale and the Rose. So I just want to give you an advice, right? Whenever you're given a question, right, please pay your attention to each and every word of the question. Emotions related to love are often misinterpreted. I have given you the meaning. Misinterpret means misunderstand or misconceive. මේ ආදරය love ගැන තියෙන emotions හැමතිස්සෙම පුතේ වැරදියට තේරුම් ගැනීමක් තියෙනවා. Misconception එකක් තියෙනවා story එක ඇතුලේ. We can discuss this question using the 3 characters in the story. Right. Now let's move on to the first one. The Nightingale. The Nightingale වුණත් student ගේ love එක දිහා බලලා ගත්තු attitude එක නිවැරදි නැහැනේ නේද? Represents true love, misinterprets the young students' superficial infatuation as true love. Now, Nightingale is the one who represents true love, but Nightingale itself misinterprets the young students' superficial and infatuation in the sense it's based on imagination and emotions. හරිද? ඒ love එක තියෙන imagination තුල පමණයි. right? එතකොට දැන් වෙන කිසිම හොයා බලන්නක් නැතුව Nightingale decide කරනවානේ advance that here at last is a true lover. Here I have given you several quotations also here which relevant to this Nightingale's view. And the second point, the bird misunderstood the young student's behavior as a true love. අර garden එකේ වැතිරිලා කිසිම practical action එකක් ගන්නෙ නැතුව අඬ අඬ ඉඳීම තුල ඒ behavior pattern එක තුල Nightingale දැක්කා it is as the true love. ඒක තමයි true love කියන විදිහටයි දැක්කේ. So it is the misinterpretation. Now you know whenever you take a fact to prove, you have to prove with a quotation. And this is also an advice, don't go on using or writing number of quotations. You have to use your own interpretations also. Yes, at times, Pute, teacher, can we write an analysis against the question? Sometimes there are some questions using agree or disagree. Pute එහෙම තැන්වලදී සමහර අවුරුදුවලදී සමහර තැන්වලදී in the marking scheme the students are given marks, right? සමහර ළමයි දීලා තියෙන statement එකට against ලියනවා, සමහර බහුතරයක් for එකඟව ලියනවා. Samahara thangaladi, the both aspects are given marks. But remember, you have to be 100% sure about your argument, right? Api literature waladi kiyanne we don't have hard and fast rules kiyala, but it comes to the exam and exam oriented questions that rules and regulations are given, right? Enisa puthe apita hitana හැමදේම මෙතන ලියන්න බෑ. සමහර වෙලාවට අපිට ඇත්තටම අවංකවම දැනෙන notion එක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But when we answer, because we need marks, right? Okay, please remember that. අපිට ලකුණුයි පුතේ ඕනේ. Personal interpretations ගැන ලියන්න ටිකක් ලියනකොට පරිස්සම් වෙන්න. There's another question. Teacher, when we write quotes in essay answers, we must explain in our words? No, please don't do that. That is a common error. That is a common mistake that the students do. Pute ඔගලන්ගේ paper එක බලන්නේ the marking examiners that your paper is corrected already know about these things. Please don't go on explaining the quotation on your words. You just place the quotation there and describe and relate it to your point. පුතේ ඒක තමයි වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ අපේ දරුවන්ගේ. Quotation දැන් මෙතන අපි බලන්නකෝ ඕගොල්ලන් මෙතන ගන්නවා නම් here at last is a true lover. Now just imagine you use this quotation to prove that Nightingale already misinterprets the emotions related to love. හරි දැන් ඔයා මෙතන මේක කිව්වේ කොයි වෙලාවෙද කොතනදද? Don't go on writing, don't go on describing. දැන් ඔයා මෙතන ඔප්පු කරන්න ඕන පුතේ මේ line එකෙන් කොහොමද අපි කියන්නේ Nightingale මේක වැරදියටයි තේරුම් ගත්තේ කියලා? That's what you have to write. Those things are the things you have to include in your essay, include in your paragraph. අපේ දරුවෝ මොකක් හරි quotation එකක් ගන්නවා, quotation එක තියෙනවා, ලියනවා, ඒක ගැන මොනවා හරි ලියනවා, or else mostly you do that, you go on describing about the quotation. No, that is not the point, right? I think you got my point, right? පුතේ quotation එක ලියලා quotation එක කොහොමද අහලා තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නෙට relate කරන්න කියන එකයි ඔයා ලියන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණා නේද පුතේ? Right. Now let's see. Now this is only one paragraph about the Nightingale, and you can use the young student. The young student misinterprets the love of the professor's daughter. He fails to understand the cunning conditional love of professor's daughter. ඇත්තටම දැන් young student උනත් හිතුවානේ මේ lady මට කරන්නේ මෙහෙම යෝජනාවක් දුන්නේ out of true love කියලා. ඇත්තටම ඒක misconception. එයා misunderstand කරා. ඇත්තටම මෙතන he fails to understand the cunning. Actually, this girl was really cunning because she already knew that during this winter season, any kind of red roses are not available. එහෙම red rose එකක් හොයන්න බෑ කියන එක දන්නවා. Right? එහෙම දැන තමයි අර වගේ යෝජනාවක් කරන්නේ. If the student have been a logical student, or he had he had much more common sense regarding the society and all, he could have thought about that. Right? So he also fails to understand. I told you earlier, here you see misinterpret means misunderstanding or misconceive. යමක් වැරදි ලෙස වටහා ගැනීම. හරිද? එතකොට මේ young student වුණත් පුතේ ඇත්තටම මේ ලේඩිගේ love කියන දේ ගැන misunderstanding එකක් කරේ. Now here are the quotations you can use. She said that she would dance with me if I brought her a red rose. If I bring her a red rose, she will dance with me till dawn. I have read all that wise men have written, and all the secrets of philosophy is mine. Yet want for a red rose is my life made wretched. මේ කැමති එකක් පාවිච්චි. මීට වඩා හොඳ දේවල් ඔයාලට පෙනේ. එකම දේ පුතේ ඔයගලන් ගන්න ඕනේ. A quotation which you can prove the argument given. දීලා තියෙන argument එක prove කරන්න ඔයාට ගන්න පුළුවන් හොඳම quotation එක තමයි පුතේ select කරන්න ඕනේ. නැතුව quotation එකේ මේ දීලා තියෙන ටික ඔයගලන්ගේ වචනෙන් describe කරන එක නෙවෙයි. Right? Okay, let's move on to the next one. That means the next paragraph. The professor's daughter, right, also misinterprets the love as she takes the conditional love to be granted. Then එයාත් පුතේ ආදරය කියන එක ගැන වැරදි චිත්‍රයක් නේ ගන්නෙ. නේද? එයා ගන්නෙත් එයා හිතන්නේ love කියන්නේ love is based on materialistic gainings කියන දේ. She values materials with her misconceptions regarding love. දැනෙනවද පුතේ question එක? තේරෙනවද මොනවද අපි ලියන්න ඕනේ කියන එක? මම මේ first question එක ගොඩක් in detail මේ ගෙනියන්නේ to give you an idea how to write. Okay? Now these are the quotations. මෙයා professor ගේ daughter love ගැන තියෙන idea එකත් වැරදි. She misunderstands the real love. Right? She thinks and she values the materials and wealth and money at last. Right? එයා හිතන්නේ ආදරය කියන්නේ වටිනා කියන දේවල් ලබා ගැනීම කියන දේ. ඒකනේ අහන්නේ මේ තියෙනවනේ. I don't believe you have even got silver buckles to your shoes as the Chamberlain's nephew has. Right? And the Chamberlain's nephew has sent me some real jewels. And everybody knows that jewels cost far more than flowers. I'm afraid it will not go with my dress. Right? So, everybody, the main characters in the story, all of them have misunderstood the conception of love. Right? Even the nightingale. So that is how you have to build up your argument. So those are the 3 body paragraphs I told. But you know that I know. I hope that you all are aware how to organize a critical answer. You have to have an introduction. So I just advise you, please don't write any detail about the poet or the writer. Just mentioning the writer's name is enough. And you have to address the question within the introduction paragraph. අහලා තියෙන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක පුතේ introduce address කරන්න ඕනේ. So I teach my students in the school just to address the question within the introduction, and introduction means the question in brief, right? Question එක brief කරන්න ඕනේ. So then the examiner knows by reading your first introduction what is the path you are going during the answer, right? That good introduction gives a hint, right? Good introduction gives a hint about the where you are and where you go, right? Okay, that is the 2020 question. I hope you got something. Right, this is given in 2019. What does the Nightingale and the Rose tell you about love? Discussed referring to the text. There are different kinds of love discussed in the story. Here, the romantic love represented by the Nightingale. And then love generated on infatuation. It is represented by the young student. Materialistic love represented by the professor's daughter. Self-centered love, Atmarthakami kiyala kiyanne, represented by both the young student and the professor's daughter. So I have given only the points you have to discuss, right? And then may romantic love කියන එක පුතේ Nightingale ගාව තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද? කොහොමද එයාගේ ideas වලින් ඔප්පු කරන්න? And then may student ගේ love එක, love generated on infatuation, right? Materialistic love, you can describe, you have to describe, use a quotation and describe. Quotation is only the evidence, okay? Evidence එකක් සාක්ෂියක් පමණයි දරුවනේ. Quotation එක කියන්නේ. Don't go on describing that. 2018. The Nightingale and the Rose is a fable of love, sacrifice and selfishness. Is this an adequate assessment of the story? Story එක ගැන මේ වාක්‍යය adequate ද කියලා කියනවා. Yes, of course. පුතේ ඔයගලන්ට තිය අනිවාර්යෙන් මේ love, sacrifice and selfishness කියන aspects තුනම ගැන ඔයගොල්ලෝ consider කරන්න ඕනේ. Need to consider about the three aspects: love, sacrifice and selfishness. Love, the Nightingale speaks about the true love, which is invaluable even to worldly goods. අපිට කියනවා පුතේ මේ emeralds කියනවා, pomegranates කියනවා, අර valuable gems නේද ඒවා. ඒවටත් වඩා මේ it is more precious than emeralds and dearer than fine opals. එහෙම instances කීපයක් තියෙනවා. When we come to the sacrifice, the Nightingale sacrifices herself to create a red rose, which is the symbol of love. Right? අනිවාර්යෙන් එයා කොහොමද sacrifice කරේ කියන දේ මේ තියෙන ඒවා quotations. Selfishness, the professor's daughter is the symbol of selfishness, right? I'm afraid it will not go with my dress. Selfishness කියන එක professor ගේ daughter තමයි symbolize කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ විස්තර අපි ලියන්න ඕනේ. 2017, discuss how the characteristics of the Nightingale, the student and the girl are explored in the Nightingale and the Rose. How the characteristics of the Nightingale, student and the girl. මේ තුන් දෙනාගේ පුතේ features ගැන අහන්නේ. It's an easy question. Need to highlight the characteristics of the three characters. තුන් දෙනාම ගැන කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. Now these are the features of the Nightingale. The professor's daughter, selfish, arrogant, materialistic, unstable, and demanding. So those are the features of the professor's daughter. And the young student here, bookish, or else he's very studious and impractical, insensitive to aesthetic taste, illogical, lack of understanding. Right? These are the features of all these three characters, right? 2016, this is the last question. Love is not half as useful as logic. Do you agree? Or don't agree? Right? Need to express clearly what their position in relation to the question. මෙන්න මෙතන මගෙන් එක දරුවෙක් අහපු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Gone against the question. Yes, if you don't agree with that, you can argue, but the only thing is you have to prove the evidence, taking evidence from the story, right? Putte, you can prove what ඔප්පු කරන්න පුළුවන් your view. හැබැයි you can't go against the creation, the story. You have to prove with the evidence. ඔයාගේ answer එකට evidence හරියට තියෙනවා නම් පුතා, you will be able to get the mark, right? Okay. Now let's see here different interpretations, attitudes to love. The Nightingale reflects that love equals sacrifice. The young student brings forth that love is related purely to the emotions. The professor's daughter refers to the materialistic aspect of love. On love ගැන මෙතුන් දෙනා ගාව තියෙන දේ. Need to tease out the terms useful and logic in relation to love. Right? මේ terms ගැන අපි කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. මේ තුන් දෙනාම කතා කරන දේවල් එක්ක. Need to talk about the difference between emotions and reasons in the context of love. Right? And then need to talk about the boy's lack of logic, although he talks about logic. When it comes to the flower, when he sees the flower for the first time, he could have been more logical, right? Than telling that, mentioning that long Latin name, right? Etana logic venna tibuna. Etara me logic, even the student who is learning logic is not logical in the practical life, right? So then you can argue in a way that you can argue whether the love is, here the question, love is not half as useful as logic. Make it agree when the puluwanda. And you can argue that what had happened to the nightingale and what had happened to the rose flower at last, right? Was it useful for anybody? So that must be your argument, right? Although the nightingale had done a very huge sacrifice, it was at the end, it has come to the term of useless, right? So that is how you have to answer these questions. And please have a logical argument in your answer, and you have to organize. Although I mentioned about the introductory paragraph, you have to you have to have a very nice conclusion also. So now the first paragraph is the introduction, and you must have at least 3 or 4 body paragraphs, and then definitely you have to have a very proper ending. That is the conclusion. You can stress the points, you can highlight the points, right? So most of the time we see that students forget to conclude the answers. So then
Excuse me, teacher.
most of the time, yes, Pute, Nishara.
Teacher, can I leave now?
Puta, I can't hear you. Can you raise your voice?
Can I leave now?
Okay, it's okay, no problem, Puta. Thank you for joining. And we are also
you,
going to finish the session. It's almost 6:30. And
Excuse
thank
me,
you
teacher.
very much, all of you. Yes.
I will be leaving too.
Okay,
Teacher,
okay, Puta. Thank you very much.
God bless you, teacher.
God bless
Thank you for the help.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for the Zonal Education Office and Madam Rasika and the Sir Isuru for giving me the chance. And thank you all. Thank you very much. I hope and I believe that you got something, you learned something from the lesson. And thank you very much. And God bless you all. Thank you. Okay.
God bless you.
God bless
God bless you, teacher.
God bless you.
bless you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.